Konnichiwa dear viewers, OldClassicGamer here. Japan, home of the many great media things such as anime and video games. Of course, I'm a big fan of them. Well, video games in Japan are great. We have companies like Nintendo and Sony, and those are some of my favorites, of course, because you know I'm a big PlayStation and Nintendo fan. So, with that said, let me tell you something. You ever played a game that has been Japanese but localized in America or Europe? Well, you might notice that in some games you have an option to select which audio track you want to listen. Some companies, for example, like localization teams, Nipponichi Software America, they, for example, always include both English and original Japanese dub included, which is great because they're promoting like the original, but since the rule of their localization is to dub the game on English, because I don't know, some people think it's that important, I don't know. But for example, let's take a look at the Namco's Tales series. What? Are you kidding me? Or no Japanese track? What kind of shit is that? What should we do about that? Is there anything that can be done? Enter the world of undubbing, the great hacking process of replacing the horribly dubbed English voices with the original Japanese one. So, you may be wondering what the undubbing exactly is. Well, let me explain. Undubbing is a type of video game hacking that involves replacing the audio files from the Japanese version or to English version to make the game look like it has text on English and voices on Japanese. So, there is a question. What's the real reason for undubbing? Well, I'm gonna tell you. But, you know, okay, let's face it. America has really great actors, like, for example, in movies, Hollywood movies and stuff. But, when it comes to the video games, not so much. People are not willing to, for some reason in America, dub video game. And often the localizations that only have the English dub are poor. Such as example is Chaos Wars, where the family of the localization leader dubbed all the characters and it just turned out to be terrible. So, with that said, most people recommend playing the game in text that they can read in their language, while leaving the voices original on Japanese so we can experience the game how the Japanese people intended to. So, how exactly do you undub a game? Well, undubbing is a process of video game hacking, so there are many ways. It first depends on which platform you're using. For example, is it PS1, PS2, Nintendo Wii, PSP? So yeah, it depends what console it is, and depends on your skills. Some of the most notable undubs are, of course, Final Fantasy series, Mega Man, and of course we cannot forget Namco's Tales series and Atlas series Shin Megami Tensei. Now, those are some of the very popular games that sadly never included Japanese voices in American releases. I don't know why. Well, Final Fantasy does have the Chinese release, for example, Final Fantasy 13. It has a Chinese release which includes Japanese voices, English and Chinese text. Now, my question is, why would Chinese version include that combination, but the American version not? I don't know. Of course, I do get it. Sometimes they don't have money for that. They don't have money for putting the voices, because it costs money to bring the Japanese voice actors in the US release. But here is what some people did. Take Ubisoft, for example. Ubisoft made a game Naruto Rise of Ninja. That game, when it came on disc, only included English voice acting. But they decided to make a DLC on Xbox Live Arcade, so you can basically download that, and yeah, you can basically hear the characters speaking on Japanese with English text. Really smart move. Also, I do get that sometimes there was no disk space for the both tracks, but that was the past. Now we have so much memory, DLC, so many memory on hard drives, so that cannot be excused today. Some people simply don't put that because they don't think it's important. Well, one of the most letdowns for me recently was Kid Icarus Uprising. That has to be one of the best 3DS games, but sadly it never had a dual audio included. 3DS has never been hacked, so I cannot even import the Japanese game and play the original version because it's not region free, and fuck it. But some other games on 3DS like Fire Emblem, they have dual audio, so it's not the space that matters. You can still basically include both tracks on the 3DS cartridge. It's just developers being either selfish, either, I don't know, couldn't have money, but I doubt it's Nintendo. They can always have money to bring that up. I mean, it's a big company. So with the fans of the Undubbing, I have something to promote. Go to the website www.undubbing.com and register and be updated with the most recent undubs created, and also with a tutorial how to undub them yourself. Do not ask for the undubbed ISO of the game, because then you will automatically be banned. Because remember, undubbing is only 100% legal if you own both Japanese and American version of the games. Because then you are free to modify them and do what you want, create backups, and yeah, nothing illegal. But if you don't own them, you can still find them on internet and do it, but then just don't talk to me or anyone about it, do it yourself. Like, find the link and follow the tutorial there. Also, if you wanna be in touch with the most current updates on Facebook, go to facebook.com/UnDubGamesInternational. That's a group that I recommend. They're always gonna promote the new games that are gonna include
both voices, Japanese and English, or just Japanese with English text. It's really cool, because if you are a big fan of that, just go. You are gonna like the group. Go register on the site as well, undubbing.com, and stay tuned with all the undubs that are coming. Undubs are sadly not getting that much like attention that they should, because mainly those are the games that are not even popular in outside of Japan that much, and Japanese people don't have to worry about the undubs, of course, because they understand Japanese, they can read it perfectly, and they can. So basically, if you live in Japan, you're in luck. You're always going to be able to find the games in the original form. But I don't know, there's some people that don't live there, and they cannot have that game. They can import it, but they're not gonna maybe understand the best what's going on. With some games, they're like platformers, like Mega Man Powered Up or Maverick Hunter X. You don't need the knowledge of Japanese that much to play it. You can just look up the English version for the menus, remember what's what, and play the Japanese version. Or yeah, that's basically it. But some games, mostly the RPG games, are required to have knowledge of Japanese in order to know where to go and stuff like that. So yeah, undubs are definitely most recommended. Yeah, but they're kind of expensive because you need to own the both games. But hey, if you can always only buy the Japanese version and find the English version on the internet and create the undub version that way, because I sure am not gonna support the English version. If I'm gonna buy the game, I'm gonna buy it in the Japanese form, and if it's some RPG, I'm gonna create the undub, try best. If you have trouble creating undubs, because some game, it depends how much knowledge you have of hacking, what platform it is. go to the undubbing.com and ask for help. Create a new thread and say the game's name. They're basically gonna help you with anything. So, really good site. I recommend it. Definitely check it out. I'm gonna leave the links for the site, Facebook group, and all other stuff down there. They're important, and I hope you enjoy this promotion. UnDUBs are definitely great. They deserve more attention. So yeah, hope you enjoyed, and please subscribe to me if you wanna stay updated with my new videos. Like the group on Facebook, register on undubbing.com, and enjoy. Sayonara. Oh, and yeah, I forgot to say, it seems that in recent times the companies are finally getting things right, because if you look at some recent games like Fire Emblem on 3DS, One Piece Unlimited Cruise SP, the PAL version on 3DS, One Piece Pirate Warriors for the PlayStation 3, and Project Cross Zone English release. You know what they all have in common? They're all gonna have English text and only Japanese voices. So it seems the companies are finally realizing that paying for English dub is just wasting money, because most people recommend hearing the original voices with English text. I mean, that's the best experience you can have in video games. So it seems that finally people are starting to get this. We need to support these games and buy them in order to show the developers that that's how it should be done for all the future Japanese games being localized in America and Europe. We need to show that we don't want English dub anymore. We just want Japanese voices and English text. Companies are doing it right. Project Cross Zone is one of my most anticipated games for this year. Definitely gonna buy it. You should people too. It's an awesome RPG. So yeah, they did it right. I was actually afraid because, you know, 3DS is region locked, and I was actually worried that it have English dub and that I cannot then buy the game. But luckily they did it right, and they included Japanese dub. I was very worried because that was Namco we were talking about, the creators of Tales series, and you know how they did Tales, right? All the games are English dubbed, so I was very worried. But they did right for Project Cross Zone. They need to start doing the same for the future Tales games. So yeah, support this idea. Hope you enjoyed, and sayonara!